Hello, Carm3D with you again. What's the deal? I'm making so many videos. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to kind of put a little extra spice on the last one I did. Plus, the last one I was just so quiet because it was so late. I had to whisper, and I don't have to do that now. But last video, I talked about MF Motion Baker, aka Mental Fish Motion Baker, and I just wanted to further indicate to you how crucial this is when you're doing character animation in Lightwave. And, simply because I don't even know if you heard me in the last video because I was so silent. So get this plugin, put it in your menu. Let me show you where it is in mine. Right there. I'm in the animation tab, and it's right under tools. And it's not underneath one of these arrows. It's right out in the open because I use it all the time, and you will be too once you get into character animation. I can't stress that enough. Get this plugin and use it. Anyway, about this animation, I basically made a simple arm here. It's using IK. The goal is not a single null that's rotating around. It's actually three nulls. Each of these colored rings are individual nulls. One is for the horizontal rotation, the yellow one is for the pitch rotation, and the purple is for the bank rotation. And by doing that, I'm avoiding gimbal lock. But this video is not really about gimbal lock. This video is about MF Motion Baker. And to a smaller extent, other types of baking, like if you use the Make Path tool with cloth effects, and you tell it to create a path, a null object that follows whatever one of your points were doing. It will bake it out to motion similar to the way Motion Maker does. So it applies to that too. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, this is a single arm. You got a bone here, and a bone for the hand, and then this 3D model is a child of this hand bone. What I'm going to do is add a null. I guess I'll just call it Baker with better caps. And let's give it a box. Okay, good. So I'm going to pick my hand bone here, and I'm looking at the assignment tools pack, and I'll choose store selected, choose my box, and choose position and rotation. So now you can see the box is basically doing what the arm is doing, the hand is doing. So now, going into my animation tab, I will use Motion Baker and bake out the entire sequence. Position and rotation. Oh, by the way, just as a little side tip, you can multi-select objects and then click on Motion Baker and it will apply keys to everything you have selected. But anyway, moving on. It's doing its thing. And it's done. Okay. Now, the thing I want you to look at when you do a fresh bake, sounds delicious, go into your graph editor and give it a little look over. You're not going to need to do anything with the position X, Y, and Z, but HPB, and I think it's mostly H, will need some examination, and we could see an example of it right here. You see down at the start of the animation, it starts off frame 0, it's roughly 169 degrees, and it's dipping down here, and then it jumps up here. And so what will happen is, if I were to save this motion and apply it to like a bracelet or something like that, and then render the animation out, you will see a single frame motion blur glitch where the thing just spins around, because that is the nature of how MotionBaker does its thing. If it jumps over to more than 180 degrees, or I guess this would be less than 180 degrees, it will push it down here or push it up here, whatever. So basically what you do is, when you see that happening, you select all the keys that are affected by this. You go into your keys menu and choose numeric move. And let's subtract 360. And there it goes. The animation will appear identical when you play through it. We can scrub through right now. No changes, but the only difference is there won't be that motion blur glitch when you pass through that part where it jumped. Nor would there be any problems if you were doing some kind of a dynamic simulation based on what this is doing, because I could tell you for a fact using this plugin, MF MotionBaker, will come in handy if you were to buy, say, Cyflex, because it needs its nail elements not to be under some kind of hierarchy. It needs to be at the very top level of the order of parenting. In other words, not a child of anything. So when you want, say, a hand to be a nail, a nail is something that keeps the cloth still, or nailed to something in your scene. You need to bake it out so that it's at the top level, and making sure that it doesn't jump like that. It may or may not cause problems. I don't actually remember. But anyway, it's just good to know this to get yourself a nice clean bake. Check your heading and pitch and bank. I think most of the time it's just heading that has this problem, but just check all three. They're right there. They're not out of reach to look at. But that's it. That's basically all I wanted to show you. Check your bakes, and then enjoy. Take it easy.